Hi, I'm Angela and welcome to my channel, Befriend and Tend. I quit Facebook about 1.5 years ago and I don't miss it at all. In fact, I used to use Facebook over 2 hours a day, and looking back, I could not tell you what I did or what I gained out of all that time I spent on Facebook. Now, I can't tell you whether you should quit Facebook or not. Only you can decide that by evaluating the pros and cons of using the platform. Now, when I did my own pro and con analysis, the number one thing in the pro column was that Facebook allowed me to connect with people from all different phases of my life. And that was really fun. I did enjoy seeing and hearing about people that I hadn't heard from in years and finding out what they were up to and connecting with them and seeing what was new in their lives. My second favorite thing about Facebook was the birthday greetings. I mean, what's not to love about waking up to dozens and sometimes even hundreds of birthday greetings and messages and comments from people that you might not have heard from in a while. And my third favorite thing about Facebook was seeing old memories, the way Facebook recycles things and posts from years ago that your friends, your Facebook friends can reshare, and that's always fun, a little bit of a walk down memory lane, or even in your own feed, being able to see what was important to you a couple of years ago. And the fourth thing I liked about Facebook was the groups. I belong to a number of groups, most of them related to business, but some of them are related to art. I've taken a couple of online art courses, and most of the artists also run Facebook groups. However, for me, there were a lot of cons. The first one is that Facebook was such a time hog. I mean, I would tell myself I'm going to go on Facebook for 10 minutes, and it was never just 10 minutes. And Facebook is really good at learning the kinds of things that I would click on or that I would read and showing me that stuff because it's in Facebook's interest to keep me on the platform as long as possible. I mean, Facebook is not designed for moderation. Many years ago, I used to be able to tell Facebook, like, by Facebook friend, like, I want to hear from this person once a month or once a week or once a day or, as often as they post. And you cannot do that type of customization anymore. I mean, why would Facebook do that if it's to their interest to keep me scrolling through a bunch of things that I don't really want to see in order to get to that one post that really interests me? Anyway, so you add up a bunch of those 10-minute sessions, which aren't really 10 minutes, and you are talking about a couple of hours a day. I mean, it was astonishing. I would check my phone at the end of the day, and I would see that Facebook was the top app, and I really did not want to be spending that much time on a social media platform. The second con is that Facebook ads make you spend money. One of my good friends about 5 years ago, she was joking around that every time she got on Facebook, she spent $75. And it's not that she was buying things that were spammy or that were not useful products, but she was spending money on things that she didn't really need because Facebook knew what to feed her that she would click on. It took a few more years for the Facebook algorithm to get me pegged, but one day, a couple of years ago, I realized that it had succeeded. While I didn't necessarily buy stuff, I would click on ads for online products or courses and then have to spend valuable time and energy arguing with myself about why I didn't really need to buy this Instagram strategy course or whatever. Plus, I found myself signing up for freebie after freebie, which made my inbox a lot more cumbersome and problematic to deal with. The third con is that Facebook rarely improved my mood. Now, every time I was on Facebook, there were positive experiences. I would see things that I liked or that made me laugh or that I enjoyed seeing. But for a variety of reasons, Facebook usually made me feel a little frustrated or agitated every time I closed the app. Maybe it was because I had managed to talk myself out of buying something on Facebook, but a part of me still wanted it. Or maybe it was because of all of the annoying pings and notifications that Facebook kept sending me, even though I had tried every strategy under the sun to turn them off. Maybe it was because of an article someone posted or a comment that someone made. Now, overall, my Facebook feed was not combative, but occasionally I would comment on a friend's post, and then I would receive notifications when other people commented on the thread, and then I would inadvertently find myself reading surprisingly aggressive comments and threads from the friends of my friends who were also commenting on the same thread. The fourth con is that I think Facebook actually disconnects us more than it connects us, because when we click like on someone's post, we feel like we've connected with them when actually we haven't. And then when I started thinking about my friends who were not on Facebook, and when I wanted to connect with them, I had to pick up the phone and call them or send them a text or start an email message. I mean, I couldn't just click a like and be done. So I think, so I think Facebook gives that false sense of connection. Finally, I realized that Facebook was not really designed for us, the users. It is designed for the advertisers. So trying to customize my Facebook experience was just an exercise in futility. And every time I sort of got Facebook looking and working the way I wanted it to, Facebook would come up with another update that would just throw everything out of whack. And Facebook feeds on controversy. So that's what they're going to try and do, is serve you posts and threads and things that make you feel agitated, because then you just sort of keep clicking and keep scrolling. If you have a calm experience, then you're more easily able to disconnect. So when I added up my pros column and my cons column, I realized that the cons were bigger for me, so I decided to quit. So if you are also thinking of quitting Facebook, there are basically 3 ways to proceed. The first way is to deactivate your Facebook profile. Now, a lot of my friends will do this. They've done it like for the 40 days of Lent, or sometimes when they just want to take a break from social media. And the advantage of deactivating your profile is that nothing is lost, and that when you want to come back, you can. Everything is still there. So the next step is to literally delete all of your Facebook friends. And Facebook does not make this easy. You have to, at least in 2020 when I did this, I had to delete every friend one by one. And this was extraordinarily stressful while I was doing it, and it took a long time because I had around 900 friends that I had to delete. But once it was all done, I felt this profound sense of relief. And the reason I did this is because I needed to keep my personal account, because I use it to manage my Facebook business pages, and there are a couple of business-related Facebook groups that I belong to that I do derive value from. I also left up a public Facebook post so that anyone who was like, hey, what happened to Angela, could come to my page and they would see that I had left Facebook. And the third option is to delete your Facebook account completely. Now, if you do this, you lose access to all of your groups. You cannot manage business pages, but it is one way to completely disconnect from the platform. It's also irreversible, so if you decide to take this step, make sure that you are aware of the consequences and that you're all in, that you're really committed to doing that. So a year and a half later, do I miss Facebook? Well, sometimes I do. Like when I launched my YouTube channel, it would have been great to let 900 people know, and I didn't have that option. So my channel growth has probably been a little slower. And then, of course, I miss it on my birthday, because now I might get, 5 birthday greetings, but most of the time I really do not miss Facebook. And I'm grateful to have more time to pursue things that are more valuable and rewarding and interesting to me. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting the like button. See you in the next video.